Chapter 6. Before leaving the city, there was one person Caliph could not depart without seeing, grandmother Elowen Vale. Ronan's grandmother was in her late 70s, sharp as a tack, with a warmth and honesty that cut through pretense. She had always treated Caliph like family, seeing the kindness and creativity beneath her reserved exterior. Caliph visited her at the old family estate, nestled in the hills outside the city. Elowen sat in her favorite armchair by the fireplace, her silver hair neatly arranged, her eyes perceptive as always. She looked at Caliph and immediately sensed something was wrong. "You carry a heavy burden, my dear," Elowen said gently, offering her a seat. "And something else, something new and precious." Caliph froze, her hand instinctively moving to her stomach. "Grandmother, I have lived long enough to know when life is growing," Elowen smiled sadly. "And I also know when a heart is breaking. Why haven't you told Ronan?" Caliph hesitated, then told her everything, about the messages, about Vivian's influence, about the feeling that she was always second place. "I don't want my child to grow up feeling like they come after the company. Or worse, like they were a mistake or an obligation." Elowen listened carefully, nodding slowly. "I do not deny that my grandson can be stubborn and blinded by the legacy he carries. The men in this family have always confused control with safety. But, Caliph, appearances can be deceiving. Messages can be altered. People can say things to create a picture that is not true. I saw them myself," Caliph said softly. "Did you?" Elowen leaned forward. "Or did you see what someone wanted you to see? Vivian Ashcroft is a woman of great ambition. She has wanted a seat at this table for a very long time. And your father, Damien Crest." Caliph frowned. "What does he have to do with this?" "Your father has always valued status above all else," Elowen replied carefully. "He and Vivian have been seen together more than once lately. It is possible they both benefit from seeing you separated from Ronan." Caliph's mind raced. She had never considered that her own father might be involved, but it fit. Damien had never approved of her choice to marry for love rather than strategic advantage. "But Ronan," she whispered. "He never questions. He just accepts. Because he trusts the wrong people," Elowen said gently. "But leaving without telling him, without seeking the whole truth, are you not also making assumptions? You say you want independence, but do not leave only because you are afraid to fight for what is real." Caliph considered her words, but the pain was too fresh, the evidence too clear, or so she believed. "Maybe you are right. But I cannot stay here, not now. I need to heal. And I need to protect my baby." Elowen reached out and squeezed her hand. "Then go, if you must. But remember, the truth has a way of finding its way back to the light. And if what you had was real, distance will not erase it completely." They embraced, and Caliph promised to write, though she knew she would keep her location hidden. She left the estate feeling a little lighter, but still certain that walking away was the only choice she had. Chapter 7. Caliph spent her final days in the city tying up loose ends. She closed her personal accounts, changed her contact information, and finalized her travel arrangements. Celine, her best friend and legal advisor, met with her privately. "You're sure about this?" Celine asked, concern etched on her face. "We could fight. We could expose Vivian if we look hard enough. And risk a messy battle where my child becomes a weapon." Caliph shook her head. "No, I need peace. I will build something on my own terms, without anyone else's influence." Celine nodded in understanding. I'll keep in touch. And if you ever need anything, legal advice, money, whatever, you just call. Thank you, Kalith smiled faintly. You're the only one I trust completely. She also sent a formal response to the divorce proceedings, agreeing to all terms without contesting anything, requesting only that she be left alone. Ronan, still stinging from the rejection, agreed quickly, wanting to put what he saw as a failed marriage behind him so he could focus fully on the merger. He had no idea that Kalith was not running away from him out of anger alone, but out of a desire to protect the life growing inside her. He saw it as proof that she never truly belonged in his world. She saw it as her only chance to give her child a stable, loving environment free from manipulation and power plays. As the day of her departure drew near, Kalith walked through the penthouse one last time. She touched the furniture, looked out the window at the city, and said a silent goodbye to the life she had known. There were happy memories there too, moments when Ronan had been loving and attentive, before the weight of the company and the influence of others had changed things. But she could not dwell on the past. She had a future to build. A future where she was in control. A future for her baby. With a deep breath, she turned and walked out, locking the door behind her, leaving the name Mrs. Vale and all its expectations behind her. Chapter 8. The morning she was due to leave, Kalith took one final drive to the Vale estate to say goodbye properly to Elowen. The elderly woman was waiting in the garden, wrapped in a shawl despite the mild weather. "You are sure there is nothing I can say to make you stay?" Elowen asked softly as they walked among the rose bushes. "I'm sure," Kalith replied. "But I will never forget your kindness. If Ronan ever asks, tell him only that I am safe and happy. Tell him I wished things could have been different." "I will tell him the truth as you wish it," Elowen said, placing a small, carved wooden box in Kalith's hands. "Take this. It belonged to my mother. It brings luck to those who need it. And remember, you are always family, no matter the name you choose." Kalith opened the box to find a simple silver pendant, shaped like a leaf. She put it on, feeling its weight against her chest. "Thank you. I'll treasure it." They embraced once more, and Elowen whispered, "May you find all the happiness you deserve. And remember, secrets do not remain hidden forever." Kalith drove away, not looking back. She headed straight for the international airport, checking in under a slightly altered name, using her mother's maiden name, becoming Kalith Voss again, free from the ties that bound her. Meanwhile, back in the city, Ronan signed the final divorce decree. Vivian stood beside him, offering words of comfort disguised as support. "It is for the best," she said smoothly. "She was never suited for this life. Now you can focus entirely on what matters." Ronan stared at the signature on the document, Kalith's elegant handwriting. For a brief moment, he felt a hollow ache in his chest, a sense that something important was being lost. But then he thought of her words, her refusal to understand his position, and he hardened his heart. She chose this, he told himself. She wanted freedom. Now she has it. He filed the papers away, ready to move forward, completely unaware that the woman he was letting go carried a part of him with her. And as Kalith's plane lifted off the runway, soaring above the clouds, she looked down one last time at the city below, knowing she would not return for many years. Chapter 9. The journey across the ocean was long and tiring, but it felt like liberation. Kalith arrived in the coastal city of Veira, known for its artistic community, mild climate, and relative distance from the corporate world she had left behind. She rented a small but bright apartment overlooking the sea, simple and affordable, far removed from the luxury of the penthouse. The first months were difficult in ways she had never imagined. Morning sickness was severe, leaving her exhausted and weak. Money was tight. Even with her savings, she had to budget carefully. She spent her days sketching designs, ideas she had carried in her head for years, wondering if she could ever turn them into something real. There were moments of loneliness, moments when she missed Ronan, when she wondered if she had made a terrible mistake. But then she would feel a flutter deep within her, a tiny sign of the life growing, and her resolve would return. She enrolled in short business courses, determined to learn everything she could about running her own company. She networked with local designers and craftspeople, slowly building connections. Celine stayed in regular contact, sending updates and support, but never revealing Caleth's location to anyone. One evening, as she sat sketching designs for furniture and interiors, combining functionality with beauty, something she had always been passionate about, she realized this was what she was meant to do. She had spent years trying to fit into someone else's world. Now she was building her own. She registered a small business, Voss Design, and began taking on small projects, redesigning homes, creating layouts for local shops. The work was hard, the pay was minimal at first, but it was hers. She answered to no one but herself, and she found a sense of purpose she had never felt before. As her pregnancy progressed, she began to dream of the future. She imagined teaching her child to draw, to appreciate art and beauty, to understand that success came not from power over others, but from passion and hard work. The pain of her past slowly began to soften, replaced by hope. Chapter 10. 8 months after leaving her old life, Caleth gave birth to a healthy baby boy. She named him Oren, meaning light, for he had become exactly that in her life. Holding him in her arms, looking down at his tiny face with dark hair and eyes that already seemed so aware, she felt a love so fierce and overwhelming it took her breath away. He had Ronan's eyes and the shape of his jaw, but he was entirely her child too, curious, alert, and perfect. As she held him, she made a silent promise: "I will give you everything I never had. You will never feel like an afterthought. You will always be loved, always be enough." In those first days, as she recovered and adjusted to motherhood, she found herself thinking more about Ronan. She wondered what he would think if he saw his son. Would he see the resemblance? Would he want to be part of their lives? But then she would remember Vivian's influence, her father's ambition, and the cold words exchanged before she left, and she knew she had done the right thing. Oren became her greatest inspiration. She worked even harder, often sketching designs while he napped beside her. Her business began to grow slowly but steadily. Word spread of her unique style, elegant, functional, and filled with warmth, and more clients began seeking her out. She documented every milestone: his first smile, his first attempt at sitting up, the way he reached for her hand whenever she was near. She told him stories as he grew, about faraway places and brave hearts, but she never spoke of his father or the life she had left behind. That chapter was closed, or so she believed. By the time Oren was 6 months old, Caleth had expanded her services to small commercial projects. She hired her first assistant, a young woman with similar dreams, and began planning for the future. She had built a life from nothing: no wealth, no family connections, just hard work and determination. Looking out over the ocean one evening, with Oren sleeping peacefully in his crib nearby, Caliph smiled. She had survived heartbreak, started over, and found true happiness. She was strong, independent, and successful. She never imagined that 5 years later, fate would lead her back to the city she had fled, or that the secrets she carried would begin to unravel.